We're on?
I think we're on.
You're on. We're on. I'm recording this week. We on?
We're on. Monday, time for Josh and Andy. 2 Jews, 2 mics, and some high chew candy. Make a pot of coffee, trust me, it'll come in handy. Andy said that to his wife on his wedding night. Now he goes to therapy to get his mind right. Andy smoking pot, tweeting the Russian bots. If you ask what he said, he probably forgot. Josh Weinstein is a motherfucking pimp. Mock movies on TV when he was a little kid. Now he's making docs better than Michael Moore ever did. Every week they analyze current events, then they throw in some impressions and some funny accents. Minnesota and New York to the Golden State. They won't ever sell out except to rhombus space. And he always forgets to plug the show, so even though they're known across the globe, they have an audience that's smaller than the suits of Jimmy O's. Jimmy O's, Jimmy O's. That's why this show will never go viral. Remember the name, they call it Thought Spiral.
The following podcast is audio.
I don't know. I had to restart my computer, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all right.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How's Clyde doing?
Why, thanks for asking. He's he's good. He's getting into the I'm fine, fuck you stage of the recovery.
Well, are you saying that he used to be full of himself?
No. I'm saying that he's full of steroids, and he's tired of being handled. He's tired of being lifted and carried places.
And does he bite? He wouldn't bite, right?
No. I mean, he might, but I mean, he's not like growling at me. He's just trying to calculate ways to get around me.
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah.
It would be cute. I was by your house there. I've never seen brighter lights. You got some bright lights on your garage.
Yeah.
They're like,
to keep riffraff away.
That's what I figured. I was like, I thought an alarm would go off if I continued on trying to get into the garage. Eventually I said, forget it.
Yeah, that's the impression.
Maybe they're not home,
That's the impression I like to give. So. Bad things will happen.
Yeah, but, what was I going to say? I couldn't have possibly had anything to say. Oh, I was listening to our, we have a podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Thought Spiral is very good. Okay. Very, very good.
I'll put it in my queue.
Why don't you stick it on your must-listen list? So, I noticed, I listened to the opening, which I thought was very nice. I'm not sure, what was that from?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Hey, it wasn't one of those, hey, buddy. It was something else. All right, now look. Look at you. Look at me. I don't do a fucking thing for the goddamn show. I sit back. I don't even know what the opening was, and I'm criticizing it. So I get to the part about something to do with glass, and I can't possibly know what joke I'm going for. There's no way. I don't remember between last week and this week that I was heading for a swallowing glass joke.
Yeah.
And it felt bad for you, my friend. Finally.
Thank
Finally.
you. All right.
I felt what it's like to be on the other end of the phone with me.
Yeah.
Or the horn. We used to call it the horn.
Sure.
Before you were born.
Sure. Radar. Get Icar on the horn.
Did you have a nice Valentine's Day?
It was a delight. How about you?
Did you order in? Order out? What'd you do?
I cooked.
Oh, we couldn't do it. We couldn't. First of all, I sent my butler and my chef home. Yeah. And my chef.
Yeah.
I'm on tonight. It's annoying. It's not that funny, but I'm on.
What are you on?
No, I guess I'm a little bit frustrated because I always assume it's going to be my fault, but it was another night where, God damn it, I was ready to go at 9.
Yeah.
And so I assume I did something. I don't think I did anything wrong. But now I have another step now. Every time I need to restart my computer.
I don't think you do.
Oh. What do you think it was?
You sound like my wife. When there's a glitch, she feels like, I've got to institute an entirely new system for this.
just in case.
Yeah.
She wants to be careful.
That's
She sounds
that's always her first instinct, is to try to come up with a whole new system to avoid that freak thing from happening again.
I knew when we let Windows 97 go that it would never be the same.
Right.
Have you always been we've always been a Mac family over here.
I've been a Mac since high school.
I'm drinking iced coffee, which I don't know if you're ever going to do a behind the scenes thing.
No, I'm not.
But I drink it a lot.
No,
drink it
care.
a lot, my
don't
friend.
Care. It's moot. Doesn't matter.
What are you talking about?
That.
You know what I said today? That was very, very funny. I did a video.
Already this story is dubious.
Wait! Funny cars! I don't even remember the stupid bit I was going to do about claiming something I did was funny.
Yeah, was it you were recording a thing?
No, I don't know. Oh, yes. And I said, hi, I'm Andy Kindler. You may know me from my cameos. Come on. Good one. 4 points. Self-deprecating.
$35.
I really do think it is more than a bargain for people.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I spilled something. I think it's more than a bargain.
It's more. It's more than something.
Well, first of all, it's keeping me in, what do you think is paying for the Valentine's Day meals, my friend?
And where did you order from, by the way?
I'm afraid to say. It's a Drago restaurant.
Ah.
You know what it is now, right?
No, I don't know what a Drago restaurant is.
You know, this is really getting me upset. I'm not trying to be one of these people. I'm not trying to be supercilious.
Yeah.
But the Drago family has a few restaurants. They had Valentino's.
Uh-huh.
I think they have something Il Pistaio maybe is one of the. All I'm saying is everybody. If you ask anybody, if you asked Allison, who are the Drago family, Papa Drago, they all know.
Okay.
Well, ask somebody.
I bet you're entirely wrong about Allison knowing.
I mean, but anyway, it was Italian food and it was delicious. Oh my God. Oi. Ugh. First we had this, then we had that, and we ended up with this. I've been ravenously hungry. We had a ribeye steak last night, and it was a 16-ounce steak.
Yeah.
That's a nice sized steak, Josh.
Sure.
What did you cook?
I made a pork loin.
Oh. Why? Was it sick? I don't know. That's a good joke. I made a pork loin. Would you insult it? Something. If loin was, instead of loin, if you made a pork cry, that would be a great joke.
Sure.
Okay. I felt I had to add one more cackle in there.
Yeah. It's a valid.
Hey, is there a documentary about Woody Allen, someone said, on HBO or something?
There's like a Woody versus Mia doc coming up.
Now, is that on
Series,
HBO?
I think.
It's what?
It's a doc series, I think.
And what does that mean, like, versus them? That, like, one side says this, the other side says that?
It means one side is opposing the other, yes.
Yeah.
Generally,
and what will I be
versus means?
What will I be doing if I'm healthy at all?
Not watching?
No, I'll watch it.
Oh, that's your mistake.
No, I'll watch it. If I don't like it, I'll stop watching it. But if I do like it, I'll watch it, but I won't tell anybody about it. I don't engage.
Yeah, I was really hoping you just wouldn't watch it, honestly.
Why? Because you think it'll get me all roped up?
Yeah.
No, look, I can tell this is going off the cliff. This is 5 minutes away from me wrestling you to the ground, showing
this is
you.
my point why you should not watch
Yeah.
this.
I have some tapes that you should see since we last talked. Now look. Okay,
Let me get my wrong side of history on.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Unbelievable. Oh, because you're, what's it when someone agrees with everything? Because you're a fish? No, you're, because you go with the crowd. I don't know. I'll call you later when I have a attack ready.
All right.
Well, I don't know how we got off on that, but I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not sorry. Damn right I'm not sorry. You know, when you ever watch The Real Housewives, those people on The Real Housewives, they always, when people get into fights, they always say, oh, don't even think about it. They always go, you picked the wrong. Everyone implies that if they were to blow, they would kill the entire town.
Right.
And nobody. And I just think
you don't
bad.
want none of this.
Yes. Yes. And they always say this. It's like when your hero, Cruz, stood his ground. Let me tell you something, Donald. Remember he said that? Donald.
I thought you meant Tom Cruise yelling at his crew.
Hey, look, you fucking SPs. Did you take your mask off? If you think L. Ron Hubbard would like that, I don't know what did you ever, have you heard his?
You didn't come loaded for bear with your Scientology jargon.
Hey, let's get this clear. Hey, let me get this clear, Tom. Have you heard the tape of him going off?
I did, yeah.
And was he, did you say, at the end you go, you know what? I'm glad he's doing it. That's the kind of person we need. Someone yelling at the little people.
Yeah, I didn't care, I gotta say, but
that's what's good. That's what's good about you.
But
that's what makes you.
I just thought about the fact that, the one part of your face that's exposed is the part that you'd be rolling during that.
What? What does that mean?
It means the only thing you see are your eyes.
Oh, that's right. What? He doesn't have a mask, did he?
I assume he was wearing a mask. I'm talking about.
I love Greg.
I'm talking
Greg
about. No, it's good.
What?
Nothing. Never mind. Nothing. Greg Barron says.
He says he got chewed out on the set of a Tom Cruise movie because he made some joke about. Yeah, I wonder where it was like some innocuous joke about Tom. It wasn't even like a sign. It was just anything. They go, "That's your call, buddy." That's what the crew said. That's your call, man. They didn't laugh at him. That's your call, buddy. In other words, the crew is they're back. Tom Cruise makes sure the crew falsely believes he cares about them.
All right.
Isn't he one of those guys? Everybody hustle up. Everybody hustle up.
I don't know.
I want to tell you something.
He might have his crew that he keeps working on the Cruise movies. You don't know.
How does he do it? How is didn't something else happen with him in the Scientology recently?
Man of the Year award? I don't know.
I mean, they have and what kind of a gold watch do you give someone who's on level 9?
Exactly.
Anyway, it's good to see, is Miss Cavage laughing?
I tried to get it engraved, but the guy didn't know the secret language.
Is Miss Cavage making a call? I think that Scientology thing, when I think about Scientology, I think they could never have gotten me because it's so boring. How would they have gotten me in? Oh, look at this machine.
How would they have gotten you out is the question.
I mean, I don't know.
I think they could have gotten you hard, frankly, because you are prone to self-doubt.
Shut up. Why don't you shut up already?
And
oh, look, I don't buy this. I don't buy this stuff.
Let me finish.
I don't buy this stuff with the, you seem like a very, very intelligent man. Huh? I'm leaving. This is bullshit.
You seem incredibly smart, and you seem like the kind of person that people have been trying to tell you that you weren't.
Huh?
Oh.
Let me see that machine again. Ask me about my gay experience.
You're very good at this machine.
Well, give me that questionnaire again about gay experiences at camp.
Right.
Let me fill that out.
Let me flesh that out.
Yeah, I didn't really. Oh, my God. That's good. Oh. But, they do say there, but for the grace of God go I. And Ben Lee has said online that he's been in a few cults. There was a time period in his life that he was very susceptible to them.
Yeah.
So I can see it. But also he probably got, he was in the music biz. He probably got shown the best cults.
Right. I only get invited to D-list cults. Suxium.
Suxium. This Suxiums. Why can't we couldn't get into that Nexium thing? Because this Suxiums. Well, you didn't want your wife to get branded. Oh, I'm the bad guy. Because my wife wouldn't get a tattoo. All right, that's the end of that bit. Hope that never comes up again. My Nexium chunk.
Speaking of Nexium, there's a new brain medicine on TV called Cognium.
Is it really? It's the third one?
Yes. But I love the name Cognium. It's better than the other names.
And what is it? Does it turn you into an Einstein?
Because it sounds like it's a naturally occurring brain element.
Yeah. It's organic cognizance.
Right.
Yeah, it's 15 degree. It's got 15 milligrams of cognizance.
Right. Your cognium levels are low.
For definitely affect your cognition. Otherwise, how could we say it?
Yeah, it's the best name.
Here's what I think we should do. Those things make me so angry. I don't know. I just feel like I feel bad. It's like don't you feel bad for the people who look at Frank Howard, and then they try that stupid
Frank Thomas?
Yeah, who's Frank Howard? He was a baseball player, right?
Frank Thomas was. Frank Howard, not so much.
All right, so Frank Thomas, Elston Howard.
Leonard Bernstein.
No, where they go, Frank, my husband, would you recommend that because he's bad in bed or something? It's some kind of thing with testosterone. It's some kind of scam.
Why, you're an imposing, very manly large black man.
Wow. Hey, Frank, could you see how my husband, is there a way to request that my husband take it? Yes, lady, you're in the commercial. I'm sure you could find a way.
Everybody, gather around my masculinity.
And do you?
I wish my husband had some of that.
Yeah, and do you how
Honey.
stupid are the people?
Huh?
How stupid are the people that they have to be told, and she'll enjoy it too?
All right. All I can say is that you're doing commercial material that includes the phrase, how stupid are the people? All right.
I know. It's not TV. I told you a million times. It is not TV that bothers me.
No?
It's the commercials that get me. Okay, but are you telling me that if the Burbank firm came out with a third commercial, we wouldn't be all over?
I think we
having
might,
a party.
but I just think we got to do better than how stupid are these people.
No, I realize it's a vein that's been hit, but we should have gotten into insurance because it seems like that's all they sell on TV, and it seems like there's a lot of money in it.
I think there is a lot of money in it. I want to sell reverse insurance.
Like a reverse. So just pay it back when?
It doesn't matter.
All right, reverse mortgage. Pay it back, or just pay when they kick you out of the house. He says that last thing.
When you leave the house, feet first.
Mr. Can I speak to Mr. Selleck? I was watching his commercial, and they say I could pay it off as one lump sum at the end. But then wouldn't I be giving up my house? Can he come to the phone and tell me?
Mr. Selleck would never be associated with anything that would take away your house. Click. Second Rodeo Productions.
We just fell off the turnip truck. Production Limited. Hello, can I help you? Yeah, I just fell off the turnip truck, and I think I saw a commercial before I went overboard. I have a whole guy now. I have a whole new cottage industry. It's the commercials, he keeps saying. All right. Am I not allowed to get mad at the okay, how about this guy? You say yes to everything. Well, I don't say yes to Cal.
Don't bring him up anymore. I'm tired of this. I'm just plain tired of this one.
I like that we've done the show long enough that you go, don't do that one. Just don't talk about him. All right, well, then we'll do Mike Lindell. That's what we'll go.
Nope. He's been deplatformed.
Don't tell me that we'll never, ever again hear, how, young man, I'm doing okay. Oh, I see you're looking. I just came in for the candy grapes.
She's still here.
Oh, good. Yeah. Good. Well, it's not our fault that Mike Lindell got less entertaining. When you got into him, he was new.
Yeah, I was on the cutting edge.
I didn't really think back then. If you had told me back then when we first started talking about him, that in a couple of years
he'll be trying to overthrow the government actively.
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen that coming.
No.
I hope he goes bankrupt. Don't you?
Oh God, yeah, I do.
Do you think he will? He has to at this. I mean, he's really.
No, I don't think he has to. I mean, I think it was right-wing bozos who were buying his pillows to begin with.
I would love to see the TED Talk when he comes back the next time. Twice in my
that
life.
That pillow can't support a head containing a fully formed brain.
Maybe that's it. Sadly, he slept on his own pillows. He's the only person whose pillows cause concussions. All right. Well.
You're pitching.
I just need my at-bats, baby.
That was a very Maury Amsterdam pitch.
Hey, Mel. I always wanted to be that character. That would have been the character I would have picked.
Yeah.
On that show.
No, you aren't good, but you aren't good at the pure appearance-based insult.
That's true.
True. I don't think you'd feel good with, hey, Baldy.
I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I would argue with the script writer.
With Carl Reiner?
With Carl. What's that guy's name? Carl. Come here, Carl. I would think that you as a bald man wouldn't like these kind of jokes. Huh? I was never on that show.
No, you weren't?
Oh, the iced coffee's good tonight.
You were making love to your iced coffee there for a moment.
Oh, my God. It's amazing. Just a little cocaine, and all of a sudden you like it. I mean, I really am turning into my father. I am just coming up with the corniest crap, and I'm totally happy with it. And I used to drive myself crazy. He used to drive me crazy, my dad, when he would do one. I said, stop doing that. Whatever the bit was that he wouldn't let go of.
Right.
And now I'm just like him, just saying random names and.
Got your nosing people on the street.
Oh, man. We're never going to get out. It's over.
When is Jimmy O's going to be open again?
That's a sad. That. I can't. It is funny, but sad that that's going to close again. And they're going to never.
My leg needs a suit.
They're never going to. I'm telling you. They have. I don't think they've made a right move since. Well, they did make a right move leaving Beverly Hills.
Did they leave, or did they open a second store?
No, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh.
It is gone.
They downgraded to the valley, is what you're saying.
Well, they just figured, don't you want a lot? Sure, people need a lot of room to walk around the clothes. It's just so good. We congratulate our diminutive Academy Award winners. Come on. You can't.
Right. No, that's an actual Academy Award you're congratulating.
And he had a picture of him with Eddie Murphy.
Sure.
So, who you have to admit looks good in the suit.
Did he look taller?
That's cold. Oh, you're cold. I all of a sudden am sensitive about my height, and that hurt.
That's okay.
Very sensitive.
That's okay, little fella. It'll be okay.
I wish I could kick your ass.
I'll get you a stepladder.
Was this Mutt and Jeff, or is this Andy Cap?
Yes.
Well, I don't think Andy, I call him Andy Cuomo for some reason. He's not doing that. He's having troubles. You forgot before this whole thing started that I never liked Andrew Cuomo, that he was kind of a schmuck. But now we remember again.
Yeah. Well, he had that moment where he is the guy who seemed like a leader.
Yeah, and he even wrote a book, I think, based on that moment.
Right. It was like Linsanity.
Oh, did he not go on to another team to do nothing?
No, he went on to other teams and did very little. but now he's fighting to get back into the league. He played in China for a year or two, where he was very popular.
Well, are you slamming him?
No,
because he can just play in the Chinese league.
No, he was very popular in China.
You got to take some kind of you need to get some kind of a sarcasm cleaning.
Oh,
I can't tell. I still like it. Hey, did you get that book on procrastination, or you got a little book?
Yeah, I had it express shipped.
Ooh.
I pre-ordered the book on procrastination.
You know, I thought I was laughing a lot, but I found out I have a small rodent stuck in my gashrunkadink.
Really? I thought it was in your Connecticut joint.
I'm so scared about. I'm like a Pavlov's dog or whatever it's called, where I'm flinching once it gets past 9:30 for any reason.
I don't think Pavlov's dog flinched. I think he drooled.
Have you seen the comedy of Ron Flinch?
I've seen Ron drool.
What, this is amazing. I can't believe I waited this long to do a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm such a good conversationalist.
Sure.
Always have something new to say.
Yeah.
I keep the conversations moving.
Uh-huh.
I have a memory like a steel trap.
Uh-huh.
Why did my dad say that?
That his memory was like a steel trap?
Like anyone's memory was like a steel trap. That's not a memory. The memory can't be a steel trap.
Are you sure that's what he said?
I hate him. That was really a joke there. I really do love my daddy.
Yeah.
I really do.
No, clearly you've just uncovered some things that.
Yeah, because I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. Just because I can't add the numbers, Daddy. Don't leave me at Jones Beach. Daddy, don't do that again. Leave the little boy at Jones Beach.
It was 25 seconds, Andy.
And the only reason was because I turned around too soon. 10 seconds more, and you would be talking to, who would you be talking to? Joel Madison.
Yeah.
You'd be doing it with Joel Madison. If I got sick for 6 months or I had a stroke,
yeah.
would you have somebody else sub in?
No, I would not.
Why'd you answer so quick?
Because I would honor you better than that.
But what if I was really sick in the hospital?
I would do the show like Phil Hendry. I would do both parts.
Oh, that would be cool. And what if I was on my...
How's this? How's this? Is this on? Is this on? No, Andy, it's on. Is this on? No, it's not on. Do the toggle. I'm toggling.
Wait, Mike. What am I doing? What button am I supposed to hit? My penis doesn't work. I'm an old man.
I'm going to do my impression of you right now. Okay. Now I'm going to push the start the show button.
How do you change your mind so quickly? How can you turn on the dime? Though I've come to expect it, I get shocked every time. It's a long way to happy, you just don't have the time. How did you get wound so tightly? Is it some kind of disease? When I offer to help you, it's like I'm speaking Chinese. It's a long way to happy, so get off of your knees. There's a whole lot of roads that in the mirror, do you like who you see? Well, if you wish you were different, I would tend to agree. It's a long way to happy, and you can't ride with me. It's a long way to happy, and you can't ride with me.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, that's my. Did you sense I have a new more? It's not confrontational, but it's more in your face. How are you? It's like, how are you?
No, I thought it actually rang sincere almost.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm noticing. I can be sincere.
It wasn't that. The force of it was like, this is my first word of actual recorded dialogue.
That's the nice thing about me is I bring a certain freshness.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. No, very fresh.
Can you hear me?
Fresh.
Can you hear me okay? Because I don't think I'm getting...
Fresh 2, 3, 4.
No, I'm just saying to you, do you think the hookup's okay? Because I can't hear you emotionally.
Well, you can't feel me. You never...
I don't want to have that again.
You never have felt me.
Stop saying things like that, okay? It's bad enough that my equipment doesn't work. And people think I'm. Well, what if they did think I was gay?
Wow, is that really what this is about? That's what.
No, I don't know.
That's where your fear set lies.
Yeah. No, I'm doing my Fleischman from Northern Exposure. Whoa, what's the problem? Yeah, you don't act that way. Neither one of us act that way.
No, I don't.
Well, that's an example of not even allowing you to have anything and going right off of whatever you say. Well, somebody's got a special world.
Oh, is that an example of that?
Not really. Hey, I did a show today with Sean Cullen. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, what kind of show?
He's just doing a stand-up show.
Yeah.
And so he had me on, but he also had Colin Hay on, who I haven't seen in years. Boy, I love that. I love that group, Men at Work. I don't know if you were a fan.
I was, indeed.
And he was also around the alternative comedy scene. And probably the time when you first came out here, maybe a little before that.
I saw him at Largo more than once.
That's where he had said, where did we see each other? It was at Largo, right?
Yeah.
So he did an acoustic version of Day After Day.
I can't get to sleep. I think about the implications.
That's what he did. Overkill, right?
Day after day reappears. Night after night. Sorry.
And he did it. There's a part of that song where he has to sing a register higher.
I can't get to sleep.
I know, that's not easy.
Think about the implications of diving in too deep. Did I back off the mic enough for that?
Oh, man. I didn't realize he's from Scotland originally.
I did. I knew that only like late in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in the heyday.
Well, during that time period, I probably
thought he was 100% Aussie.
He looked like
dress pants.
But the thing is that he moved when he was a child, but he has a Scottish accent. There's no question about it.
Yes, he does.
But I don't notice it normally, but now I'm an expert.
Well, once you know, then you it all comes back together.
Yes. It's like writing a, okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I was going to make a joke, but then I think if you don't have the joke when you're starting out, what's the odds?
You have to make your hay while the sun shines.
That was the name of his first solo album.
Was it?
No.
It wouldn't have
Why'd
been.
you play it like that?
Because it wouldn't have been out of bounds, really. I'm sure it's something like Man at Work.
No, his first solo album was Colin, Hey, Hey, Hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, 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 hey. How is little Clyde? He's a little beautiful doggy.
He's good. He got the staples taken out of his back today, and that is the last time I'm letting him alone in my office. Am I right?
Okay, I do not get that joke. I don't get that joke. In other words,
he got into the stapler. See, you do get that joke.
I did, but
it hits hard.
I get it. So he took the staples out. That's the last time.
All right, like the back problems weren't bad enough. He had to get
Now he's swallowing staples.
whatever, however you want to take it. I don't need to explain further. I got my laugh.
I did not know what the joke was when you texted it to me, and I finally get it.
Yeah, okay, good.
Because my mind goes to, what, he has a doctor's office? Your doctor's office? Who knows? And then I didn't know if it was the doctor's office you left him in alone.
Yeah.
You left him.
I didn't
Okay,
say
stop it.
I didn't say doctor's office. I just said
Tell me,
office.
would you tell me they're moving along?
Please.
Okay, so how you feeling? How you feeling about everyone's liking Biden?
Yeah. Biden's good. He's good.
Oh my God,
I like him.
I'm 2 sentences away
I
from
like the
asking
way
how's the
some
weather.
days I like what he says, and then some days you don't hear from him. I like both those things.
Yeah, it's all different now.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
And Rush Limbaugh's dead, so there's that.
Right. Did you find it odd at all on Twitter? Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of once they're dead saying, yeah, and I hope someone comes along and pees on you or whatever the thing is that people feel.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think it's a weird obsession that people get in a way. You know what I mean? They feel the need to go.
There's very few people who've pumped more evil into the world than Rush Limbaugh over the last 30 years.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know, so it's if it's allowed to be gleeful about someone passing, if not him, who?
No, you're right.
I'm
you're
not
right.
saying it's allowed even. I don't have a strong. I made a couple of jokes, but they were soft.
Yes. And that's we don't try to go up to the line except unless it's a hurricane.
Yeah.
And I wish the whole of Miami and the whole of Florida would die. He was part of that joke too.
One of them, I mean, actually this one wasn't that soft. The death of Rush Limbaugh is a reminder that viruses do eventually run their course.
But that's funny, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I won't do it if I didn't think it was funny.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
That's a good joke.
And the other one I did was CNN will show a montage of atrocious things that Limbaugh said, and Fox will show a montage of his greatest hits, and it'll be the same clips.
That's good. You're not even, but here's the difference there. Well, first of all, they're both fine jokes, but you're not getting off on it's something about getting off on the final expiration of it's like hanging Mussolini. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, but I still...
No, it's not classy. It's just not classy.
Not classy.
No matter what, it's just not classy.
Yeah. I hate that guy so much. I hated him so much.
Yeah,
Holy
he was
moly.
awful. And I remember, I do remember driving around in the early 90s, doing road gigs, in my car by myself, driving for 12 hours. And there were, it was like, it was the only thing on the radio you could tune in parts of the country.
Wow. That's so depressing.
And it was, pretty common. If you were out in the boonies, you could get a signal with Rush Limbaugh, but that's about it.
God.
And you start to realize the sort of monopoly that this guy had on Red Stateville.
Yeah.
For a long time.
A long
3
time.
hours a day for 30 years plus.
Well, I remember how he affected all of the radio, because I used to have a feud with these guys called the Regular Guys. They were on 97.1, and they tried to be everyone was trying to be like him at one point in the 90s or the 80s.
Yeah.
And it was just so depressing after a while. It'd be like, who's that? Tom Likas. It could be Tom Likas. Tom
Likas.
Coming up in the next half hour, why you should throw your girlfriend from a moving car. Why You should throw your girlfriend from
I'm correct, and I want you to hate me anyway.
And he would do that. He was a typical guy. Like, he literally just wanted to get ratings. He didn't care what he said.
Yes.
But he tried to be liberal, the progressive voice, for a while. What's going on? Is Allison causing trouble?
Allison is making the dogs bark wildly.
Who let the dogs bark? It's good?
You pulled that out at the end there when you changed the lyric name.
Hey, I got one. Who let the dogs back in, finally? Corny jokes.
But, yeah, I just remember driving around being haunted by this fucking, just this horror, and that's when it was still like taking shots at the Clintons and feminazis and,
Yeah. But that was the only, what happened was that was the only radio that survived at some point because everything was just like, that's all radio became was these talk, and all these talk radio people, they just knew that if they talked about something controversial, they would get ratings. And it just became, there was nobody of that type was good.
But there was another thing
level.
too, though. It wasn't just about the ratings. I mean, obviously it's always about ratings, but there's also, there became so many right-wing radio companies that bought up these stations that you were pleasing their agenda simply by doing that.
Yeah. And that definitely went, it feels like that's been going on since the 90s, but maybe it's the 2000s. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it started certainly with Rupert Murdoch.
Yes. And now.
It probably didn't. It probably started with someone else who, I'm too.
I know what you're saying, though. It doesn't matter for our purposes.
Yeah.
It started out, but it got so it actually destroyed radio, didn't it? In a way, like, well, I think the technology destroyed radio, probably.
I heard video killed the radio star.
Well, but like you would listen to podcasts back then. If I was on the road, I would listen to podcasts. They
not in the early
around.
90s. If they existed, I would.
Yeah, and there was nothing.
There was nothing. Yeah.
No. And
no, you had to I had a Discman that I had to use one of those cassette adapters for.
Still have, you idiot. I have that now.
Why am I an idiot?
Because I have that. I have a cassette deck in my car.
Okay. All right. Well,
I didn't mean you idiot, but
you kind of.
I meant don't make fun of me. I still you're talking about.
Don't make fun of me. I still have a cassette deck.
Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. Hey, Josh, I have one of those. Josh,
Andy?
Who would marry me? Who would sleep with me? Who would talk to me after 5 minutes?
I'm still here.
Oh, you actually made my stomach turn.
Oh, good.
But, thank God he's gone in terms of thank God that kind of radio is gone. Because the guys who took over for him are like Mark Levin and Hannity.
Yeah.
But people will say, oh, Rush Limbaugh, he was really entertaining back in the day. He was never entertaining.
He was
slightly good at what he did.
Well, he was very good at what he did, whether that's entertaining or not, but he was certainly compelling.
But then I could never listen to him because there was commercials. You just have I know how anybody, that's why I couldn't listen to Howard Stern anymore or in the mornings.
Right.
Did you ever get satellite radio?
We did for a couple of years.
And how did you,
It didn't justify the cost after a while.
Yeah. And people are still buying it? I guess they're still buying it, right?
Yeah.
As a product?
Yeah. I know Michael DeBar has millions of listeners.
Oh, and also the guy from Springsteen, right? Is that where his show's on?
Yeah, Little Steven.
So what else? Okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I told myself I wasn't going to do that anymore. What else is going on?
It was a big day for Clyde. That was good. The best news for me is that we got permission for him to go up the 2 steps necessary for him to go outside.
Well, you mean on his own?
Yeah. I mean, we do it on a leash, but I've been carrying him outside each time he had to go out.
When you're carrying him, does he start squirming?
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. He's definitely into the I'm fine, what's your fucking problem phase. But there's another month of him having to be tightly controlled. So.
It is amazing how different all pets are when it comes to going to the doctor. And some of them don't mind it, but I remember when we had a cat, like our cat would be, it took us 5 hours to get him into the car.
Right.
And then he would, as soon as he would get in the office, he would just go to the bathroom on the examining table.
Yeah.
And,
Clyde just quakes. He just quakes and quakes the whole way there.
oh, that's so, wait, am I repeating a story from my life or was it your life where they didn't enjoy the kennel? I know from my life, they couldn't put the dog in the kennel anymore because they were so upset when they got him. That was in Boston, but you have put them in kennels.
In the, like, to board them when you go out of town, like?
Yeah, like the one on Ventura Boulevard where there's a whole,
yeah, we don't call
outside.
them kennels, though. That's why.
I knew as I was saying that.
Soften the blow. We call it dog
What does kennel mean?
sitters. A kennel is much more harsh. A kennel is like dog prison. This is like dog camp.
Right, but some of them don't like it at all. They don't like. It cannot be it's like very traumatic.
Yeah, I mean, what's traumatic, really? Some of them, some people can't. Some dogs will punish you for it.
Oh,
like
so you're
like
saying
Larry used to punish us for it by trying to ice us for 12 hours or something. He'll just go pout in another room.
That's unbelievable. That dog. That's very human.
He'll be super excited to see you when you come home.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll go, oh, look, you made me feel. And then he'll go pout. But these guys, Clyde and Lucky, aren't like that.
You might be the best dog owner I've ever met. I haven't met millions of them. But you have a certain rapport with dogs.
I'm super observant, and that lends itself to dog interaction.
Yeah. That's true. I'm super observant.
Yeah.
No, because I start celebrating Shabbat before the sun goes down.
How do I look in my dog's reflective eyes?
Look, I'm talking to you. That's all I would do if I had a dog. Look, I pretend as if I was getting annoyed.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah, they're okay with that.
Well, one of these days, but when I heard what the bill was, I didn't even know what the bill was, and it made me like, I can't even.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would greenlight that for my wife. Good night, folks. I'm not really saying I'm taking my wife to a thing.
Yeah. Let's just say I still want your brother to be my brother.
Oh, that's for sure. No. I'm telling you, if I die, don't even try it. He'll kick you out. Oh, here he comes. Here comes another Jew. I don't know. Why is he an anti-Semite now? That doesn't seem right.
It doesn't really.
You know what I love? I love that Biden hasn't called Netanyahu yet. That's the kind of thing.
He did today.
Oh, how do he must be watching the news. Oh, when that Netanyahu gave that speech in front of Congress. Can you believe that these things happened during Obama?
You know what that is, Andy?
What's that?
Chutzpah.
Here's the things that help me feel good about myself. I go, oh, maybe Netanyahu will go to jail. That would be so nice.
Yeah. Is that really worse than wishing that Rush Limbaugh were dead?
I want to say that Netanyahu is more dangerous.
Jew in prison? Is that really a place? Is that something to wish?
Look, I know I did wrong, but is there anything else? What are my choices for dinner? I don't know. Is that the Jews always complain, even in prison?
Benjamin Netanyahu has a much different impression than that.
No. I was doing it as a general Jew. And by the way, when I was in the service, I reached general.
Wow, I was about to say that's Netanyahu's Joint Chief of Staff, General Jew.
If you know what I mean. Hey, I'd like you to meet Netanyahu's Joint Chief of Staff, if you know where I'm going with it.
You hit the head of his military council?
No, I'm talking. No, think more like his staff. Think about that.
The people who work for him. I see.
No. You're taking it too literally.
Yeah.
You know how you walk in the field with the staff?
With your people? Yeah, it's like a field trip.
Yes.
It's literally a field trip.
God damn, this guy is almost as stupid as me. Almost. You're pretty. What is this serving that I now take it out and verbalize it? Stupid. You're stupid. I'm stupid.
You're
stupid.
saying the quiet part out loud.
Here's two things I hate.
What's that?
I hate those kind of...
Hold on one sec. Things Andy hates. Thing number one.
Michael Steele. I can't stand him. He was always
Really?
a jerk. And how is he helping? What do we need to hear from Michael Steele
He
for?
doesn't really,
Ever?
He does not help. He really doesn't, because he hasn't fully rejected Republicanism,
No, he hasn't.
but they've completely rejected him.
Yeah. And he's just boring. And there's a couple of people like that who are just so boring on the show. I can't listen to him. Well, mostly he's
Which show?
On the cable news. Obviously, I didn't have enough oomph to have a full topic formed.
Okay. Just Michael Steele hatred. That was thing number one.
Okay.
What's things Andy hates. Thing number two. That was really fucking annoying. I hate myself right now.
Can't think of it.
Michael Steele is one.
Well, Morning Joe. I never even watched them anyway. Morning Joe is the worst show I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, that's Morning Joe is like your late night for other people.
That is sad when you think about that I'm actually having conquered the going to bed thing. I did a very good thing emotionally this weekend that really helped me. I even talked. Oh, wait a second. Did I talk to you about this, Ray? No. Oh, I don't think I did. Or maybe I did. When all the stuff was going on, it's just stop me if I have said it. But when everything was going on Saturday, where they were going to call witnesses, and then they weren't going to, and then they decide, well, they got that one person's speech in. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on the cable news, these idiots, and I'm sitting at home going, they just told you that if they subpoenaed these people, it could take months. Nobody was saying that. So I got so mad on Saturday when they started to yell at the Democrats.
Yeah.
I turned off the TV, I turned off the Twitter, and I watched nothing till Monday. Because I knew it would eventually resolve. I knew by some point they weren't going to be talking about how the Democrats blew it by not calling witnesses when they actually probably made the exact right decision.
Okay.
But the reason why I get so annoyed is because I really feel like those people have power over me, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't watch it in a healthy way, don't watch it.
No, I cannot watch it in a healthy way. No, that's right. I guess the point I was saying was like I take it to the point of that it gets very quickly to my father and me. That's all it really gets to. It's like someone's telling me. Oh, but there's two things. I actually believe, I said during therapy, I actually believe that if I don't watch the TV and yell at the TV, then something bad will happen. Right? And that's just so ridiculous. So staying out of it the whole weekend made me realize, you know this about Twitter anyway, but it was like, wow, I could just watching it is going to get me steamed.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I'm not explaining it in a way that makes sense.
I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, I think it's just that. It's just that you just get too emotionally invested in everything you participate in. Right.
So take it away from the thing. This is what the problem is everywhere. It's like if I'm feeling like not less than, or I don't like that word, but when I'm feeling like I'm not smart, it starts to or it's the same thing with religion, you know, or same thing with like, I feel more spiritual as I've gotten older, but I'm afraid my father or someone's going to say, well, you're an idiot. You're just an idiot. You know, when you die, but I spend so much of my life just in that part of the argument. I'm starting to get past it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to be gained by it. And, I give so much power to other people.
Yeah. I mean, you're creating artificial peer pressure by assigning peer power to these people.
And also, like, you know, I was talking to my therapist, like she goes, well, I get as upset about these things as you do because she hates Trump.
Yeah.
But she says the difference is that when I'm not looking at it, I don't think about it anymore because I know I can't control it. So I know that that's the lesson I have to learn because there's no reason. It's not helpful to, you know, like I felt like, but it's understandable. I couldn't take one more day of Trump. That's understandable. that you're like, oh my God, are we going to make it?
No, I spent 4 years totally enraged at the guy, and I was not, and I was unable to divest my emotion from the situation. But you're worried about your take.
Yeah, but my take, what you're
and how it's going to be received.
Right. And so if you took it out of anything, if I was worried about how my singing was received, or I was worried about anything, it's like you're making it is just so crazy because I'm making it about my take, and then and then my take has to be right, and these other people have to be wrong.
And that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing that I just feel like the world doesn't need anyone's pure opinion on Twitter. The world needs a joke. And I'm not, this is just my little take on it.
Yeah, I agree with you 90% of the time, but there's sometimes that I do feel like I come up with a good way of saying things. It's not necessarily a joke, but does nail the situation.
I think that's totally fine.
That's totally fine.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking. Yeah,
it's the hot take. It's the I have to have an incendiary, extreme opinion about this thing just because it's going on.
Well, the other part of it is this. It's like when they're sitting there, I read people on Twitter going, what are these stupid Democrats doing? Blah, 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 blah. I start to get mad. But if you saw me on another day, I might say the same thing about someone that I normally like. It's like, It's really ridiculous. And mine is so clear that it should be a good way for me to get out of this, which I am. I'm getting out of it. I'm not like, I know that I was miserable when I first started the podcast, and I don't think I understood. I think I was very defensive about it still, I was very defensive about it. I'm right. I'm right.
Yes.
I'm right, Josh. Why shouldn't I express myself? What's the anger coming from, Andy? There's no anger.
No, I'm much less afraid to have a disagreement with you now.
Right, but well, of course. Oh yeah. Oh, is that true? I mean, was it scary?
I'm much less afraid of it now. Yes.
Well, it's actually embarrassing to me when I'm in therapy and I realize things like I feel embarrassed about it. Of course, that doesn't help either. But like the times where, Susan will go, "Don't yell," don't yell at me, and I was like, "I'm not yelling," I'm not yelling. It's like I have never realized that how I put out that kind of anger, and I don't want to do that. I don't really do that as much, but I do remember myself as just diving in. I love to dive into these and fancied myself enjoying the debates. Right. But I never did. I never enjoyed them.
Right. No, there's too much fight or flight in there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good to get that feedback because I think of myself. It's so weird because my mom was not nice when we would go out shopping and everything like that. And she was just like so self-involved. She would walk into a store right up to okay, do you have this in green or whatever the hell it was? So I have so much invested in being a nice person. So I actually have always thought of myself as being a very nice person. I think I am a pretty nice person, but I never realized I could get that anger is scary. It's not just scary when I heard it from my family. It's scary when I put it out.
Right. Yeah, no, it's super fucking intense. But it's, I was just watching, that David Crosby doc.
Yeah.
It was sort of passing by, but I happened to catch a section where he was talking about his big thing is getting angry. And it's like the second that adrenaline hits, he's no longer driving the boat,
Yeah. And I look back at all it's like, again, my other problem is to look back with regret, which is stupid. So not stupid, but shouldn't do it. But it's like I look back at these arguments I have at Comedy Central, and if I had been aware of what was going on, or even the time that Stephanie told me that Stam Harris said, and I said, yeah, and then he says he accuses me of defamation. He has the nerve, and she goes, he's doing that to get you going.
Right.
And that's of course what he does, but it's very painful when you don't realize you're in the middle of that. So I hope that everybody becomes aware of what they're doing.
Here's my advice: you should categorize your memories as if they were on the recording format of their day.
Well, that's pretty cool. So I love that.
Like that's just an old VHS. That memory.
That is really good. You just come up with that? Or
Yeah, I
that's
just
one
came
of
up with that.
I think that's so great.
And then, you know.
Well, what did you want? You recorded. That was when you recorded 4 tracks on a cassette tape.
All right.
How good did you want it to sound?
Exactly. You're really going to listen. You can't even listen to that anymore. You don't have a cassette. You have to, well, you do in your car.
You know, it's weird because part of me.
But that's a VHS memory. You know.
That's a VHS memory.
Yeah, you don't know how to transfer that.
Well, it's like starting to do bits about. Don't you hate it when you're listening to the 8-track and the song fades out in the middle of the song and then picks up on the next track? I remember Andy. Who's that? I'm Old Man Malone. How old are you? I'm 102. So you like my Edison Spool references? I sure did, Andy. You sure bring back memories. Your comedy brings back memories. Well, and the hope is that you see that you're able to I'm saying for me, slow yourself down and.
No, here's what my observation is that you are now at least able to get enough outside yourself to see what's happening.
That's kind of a backhanded compliment.
No, I mean, it's just what I see. It's, and,
yeah.
And so that means you can at least ask a question about what's happening.
Yeah. Well, it is true that when we sat down and we first wrote together, I had so much pain about the process and thinking about what you were thinking. It just was very hard. And luckily, I had started therapy then.
Yeah.
So, I'm just perfect now. I wasn't perfect
4
back
years.
in the days.
All it took was a Trump administration, and boom.
Yeah. I got it. You know what I'm happy about? I got it figured out.
That's right. You cracked it.
Josh, it's all gravy now.
Yeah?
How could there be any rainy days when I got this motherfucker figured out? I'm one step ahead of what's that song? One step ahead of the who. Is it Jim Croce maybe? I'm one step ahead of the the guys coming to get you.
It's try to keep the customer satisfied. And I'm one step ahead of the shoe shine.
Yeah.
2 steps away from the county line. Just trying to keep my customer satisfied. Satisfied.
That's Croce, right?
Deputy Sheriff said to me, this is Simon and Garfunkel's song, boy. You better hang up right now and end the show before you have to pay for more, boy. Tweet, tweet, tweet. 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 V-I-I-I. 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 Tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. 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 Tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. 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 Tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. Tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. Tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Somebody say, wheat, wheat, wheat. Somebody sing, Ocho.
It's getting warm. I don't want it to get warm like this. Do you? I want it to stay cold.
I never got cold, let's be honest.
I mean, cold for California, IA.
Yeah.
A big difference.
Yeah, I don't think it's really the best week to complain about weather.
Why?
Just because.
So cold.
Because of our fine listeners in Texas.
I like when it gets cold. Well, you know, it's your fault. Your fault. Your issue. Your fault. Our issue. My fault. I guess that was unintentionally cruel. No, it wasn't anything. Like, I'm going to mention the thing and they're going to go, oh, he's right. We have no power. Well, I hope that our fan in Texas, actually, Texas might be the biggest concentration of our people.
Yeah. Don't say concentration when it comes to us.
Concentration of our people, like the Jewish people. What's wrong with that? What is the matter with you today? What's wrong with concentration?
Nothing.
What's wrong with it?
I can't achieve it. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different. Oh my God. I'm telling you, this is going to be this. If this bodes well for the rest of the show.
Yeah. Then
it does.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't bode well, I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm being sarcastic. So, yeah, what's happening? I didn't watch the news much. Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? I hope that Ted Cruz is able to get away for a couple of days.
I hope so after all this.
Do you know that guy? I don't think that guy's ever told the truth in his life because he says, like, you could tell he's thinking of it as he may. First of all, he blames his damn wife for everything. Well, Heidi.
Well, he went with his kids first. First, he blamed his young children.
Right, but he said Heidi wanted that. They came to Heidi, and so Heidi said, okay. Me and Heidi said, okay.
We wanted to be good parents.
Yeah, wanted to be good parents. I mean, does that guy know what he looks like when he's traveling around?
He is not blessed with self-awareness. I think it's pretty clear to say.
That is amazing. It's really amazing. Because every once in a while I would think, hey, I bet he has a pretty good sense of humor. No, doesn't.
No, he's just...
There's nothing about him. How does a slime ball like him get elected? I don't care.
Yeah, it's just such a weird dichotomy of the pure desire to enrage people and ostensibly running for public service.
Right. And he seems to have zero sense because like when he was doing the thing about he was reading green eggs and ham. What was the point? What was his Mr. Smith Goes to Washington point behind that? Nothing. What was his point?
When he was filibustering, you mean?
Yeah, he's filibustering, which was used to filibuster civil rights legislation. I'm ready to get rid of the filibuster now.
Yeah. Are you?
I am. I say go for it right now. But you know what? You can't even go for it right now because Mansion and Cinema.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not necessarily going to vote. They're not voting for minimum wage, and they're Democrats.
No, they aren't going to vote for for the OMB person. What's her name? Neely Keely.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's mean on Twitter.
Well, you're not talking about Neera Tanden, are you?
Yes, I am.
Neera Tanden, that's irrelevant. What they're saying. How can the party that has the guy go has to be convinced not to make fun of McConnell's chin? How can they call anybody? Who cares the way she is on Twitter? Actually, she's a friend of mine, so I'm trying to double back now because she says like Ted Cruz is a vampire. All those things are true. Those are factual things that cannot be a complaint. And even Manchin's doing it.
Manchin's the one saying he's going to vote no. I don't know what he's...
What an idiot. That guy is such a...
I didn't see his actual reason, but I can only assume that's the reason.
I just can't stand him. why do we have to have that state? Or, well, I mean, we have to kowtow to these people who do nothing. What is he, why would he not want the minimum wage? He's afraid that they won't be able to pay people.
We made 4 years, the entire Trump administration. I'm not going to fucking go McLaughlin group on this show now.
I can.
I know you can. That's why that's why we're not doing it.
It's not so McLaughlin group. That's just regular anger coming out.
I know.
I can't always tell when you want to talk about the news, when you don't want to talk about the news. It's not easy to read you.
No.
And then you get me all wound up. I'm wound up. I'm 4 sentences in. Then you go, all right, I'm pulling the plug. Well, you know what? That's your call, and I accept it. So let's move it along. Move it along to something else that you don't want to talk about.
Yeah, I pull it now or I pull it tomorrow.
Pull it now or pull it. Well, that's just assuming I'm going to get more rageful, which I don't think is necessarily true. See, when I get into this rageful thing, it's good for comedy, and if I keep it in that perspective, I should be okay.
Yeah.
But you see, I could have been a sentence away from being funny because sometimes the pure anger causes me to say something humorous.
Yeah, but I couldn't even conjure her name.
I didn't know that you were near tendering it. But I mean, I'll say the only reason why I'm saying that is because they pick on her all the time online because she got she's the one who got her emails stolen, and she talks like a regular person on Twitter, And so I guess it is enraging in the terms of like it is like a second. What is it when it gets so where I feel like they're hurting me because it's so when they lie so much like that, it's like, oh, they're winning. But they're not. They will lie all the time. They're not winning or losing. They're doing what they always do. They're never going to tell the truth ever. Marco Rubio, for example. There's a couple of Republicans that could be nice.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah, but when Mitt Romney is your standard bearer for hope.
I know. Or I go with Adam Kinzinger.
All right, but
I don't even like him.
He's a house guy.
Just because he's younger. And Mitt, you think is going to fall? If Mitt was this powerful?
I love the Adam Kinzinger. I like the Kinzinger story because his family disowned him publicly.
I also love the way Adam. Well, actually, I do. I mean, he's not a bad guy, but I mean, I love the way he shows all the letters too.
Yeah,
to make his family look worse. I don't know. The worst argument that they ever came up with was when these horrible Republicans would say, we're all in a sense responsible for Trump. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think if you didn't vote for him and you hated him,
right.
You cannot be responsible.
Spoke out against him daily.
No, but they're saying because we did. This is the biggest lie. We didn't address what these people at the Capitol are upset about with the guy who's wearing the spear on his thing.
Right.
You have to appeal to him and bring him into the tent,
right?
So he can stick his spear in through it and take down the tent. Am I getting funnier? Any funnier at all?
No, the tent didn't help you.
The tent was my way out.
No.
I went with that. I went with not. I was just going to say exaggeration, but I said aggravation, which I think is one of my biggest comedy tools. Okay, I'll laugh, you fucking idiot. You've said it 30 times. I suppose it is funny for you to say, why did they call it dinnerware? Now, say a real joke, Andy, please. Oh, this guy's looking at me like I haven't said a real joke yet. And that's how the magic happens.
I understand. It's thinly veiled rage.
You can't look. I'm growing while you're staying where you were, and you still think it's 1990. Bang, boom. I am in therapy twice a week, crying, sobbing.
I know you're leaving me behind. You see me waving in your rearview mirror with my right hand.
Yes.
Well, that's actually my left hand because it's your rearview mirror.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You got me. Did you just come up with that? I like that one.
I did. Yes.
I told my wife last night that objects may be smaller than they appear. That's not even the expression, is it?
No, because you need the mirror in there.
Oh, I said, when, in the middle of sex, she said, would you get off of me? I said, objects may be closer than they appear.
Right.
No, still no good.
That's like one of those jokes that made you not quite sure you loved Gary Shandling. It's one of those.
I would like to know more about how Gary Shandling agonized over taking the dog out for a walk.
Yeah.
he really agonized over many things.
It might have been harder to be Gary Shandling than Andy Kindler. I really believe that.
Oh, I think he was more. Well, first of all, why do you have to compare me to a guy who really had serious depression and stuff like that,
Well, because
and never did anything with his career?
Because I know the details of how hard it is to be Andy Kindler intimately.
I mean,
so you are my standing example of there, but for the grace of God go I. So when I have to filter that.
Also, what did he do that was so great? I keep trying to push that joke through.
Yeah.
I have to say that he did a good job of being nice to me when I was acting on the show.
No, and I think I don't think he was mean
a bad guy
at all. I really don't. I think he was agonizing.
Right, he was agonizing. Yeah, you could see him with all these interviews.
I don't think he was a bad person. I really don't.
No, I don't think he was either. He couldn't get out of, and I relate to this very much, where you can't get out of your own head. You just can't get out of it.
Yeah.
The only difference between me and him is that he was a little bit more egomaniacal. He was a little bit more felt like he had all the answers than me, which is surprising if anybody spent 3 minutes with me.
Yeah.
Do I come off like I have all the answers? I don't think that's how I come off.
No, you do not. You come off as eager to please.
That's it. What's the word for that? The adjective. I knew it. Eager to please. You know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I do.
I'll figure it out later.
I do. I was trying to come up with a nice one, honestly.
You were trying to come up with what?
I was trying to come up with a nice one. I was scrolling through some words.
Yeah. I'm eager to please, but
and Shandling was eager to be pleased.
Right, and that could be. You know what's interesting with someone like him? He really did something that I think was brave. He got out of something that he could have been very successful at, and went in another direction. That was pretty brave, I think, because it's hard. He was already on but he must have hated being a writer but he's so mean to the writers that he had.
Yeah.
I know that he could be very hard on writers.
Speaking of being hard on writers, why don't we get to some questions?
How did I have to say, I'm not a fan of segues, but that was pretty smooth.
Dan Marsh says, if there was a documentary made about your life, what would the title be?
What do you got?
Go ahead.
I've done this joke, Under the Radar, the Andy Kindler story. But he's talking about, so it'll be something self-deprecating.
Right.
Where is he now? Or why did it go end badly? Something like that.
For me, it would just be something about lack of appeal or something like that, probably. Maybe it would be the whole thing would be a mysterious search for why there just wasn't what that thing about me was that was off-putting.
And you interview everybody in your life. That's pretty good.
Like, what's the limiting factor?
You get everybody to say that to you.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
know you can
Moore
like me, but what is it that keeps you from actually loving me?
I like that. That would put people on the spot.
I think I cause a pleasantness in people, but no one really gets excited.
You've heard me laugh as hard as I can possibly laugh at your material.
Yeah, but at this point, I've just tailored everything to you as my audience. So.
That's a sad statement in a way. Like you kind of know how to get it out of me.
Yeah. Sous Vide says, do you think Natalie Portman would date me if she weren't married? Well, since she's married, yeah, sure.
Oh, I definitely think she would. Oh, I thought that a lot.
Yeah.
She likes ongoing, recurring riddles.
She does. And restraining orders. So Benjamin Earhart says, hey, Josh, I was wondering if you had a Walter Brennan impression. And if you do, maybe you could give us all a little taste. I don't really, but I'll still try to give you a little taste.
Has that ever stopped you?
He's coming to get us. Sheriff, he's coming to town.
Well, dag nabbit.
Dag nabbit.
They say I was anti-Semitic.
I think they said he was racist.
Really? Hard to imagine.
I didn't imagine it until I found out.
Hard to imagine an old prospector being racist.
It just makes me angry that maybe some of these old.
For the
great
record, I
actors-
think Andy's Walter Brennan was as good or slightly better than mine.
Meh.
He'll ruin it now. He'll ruin it now. But
I know. That's exactly what I said to myself. Why am I going further? I established a certain level of competency.
You did.
Move on.
Yeah. Rev K says, no question, just happy to see Clyde is on the mend. Thanks again
Yay.
for the Monday shows.
How's he doing
Thank you,
today?
Rev K. He's doing good. He's getting grumpy. He's getting tired of being limited.
Yeah.
But he's off the pain meds and he's off the muscle relaxant. So I think there might be a little withdrawal happening too. But he's still on the steroids, which is the main behavioral effector.
And can you tell he's getting better, or it's just too early to tell?
No, he's
he's better.
No, he's way better.
Oh, okay. That's so good.
I would put.
Are they going to take an X-ray again and see?
I don't know if they're going to take an X-ray again because that's wicked expensive.
Oh, okay. Could they take one of yours and see what happened?
They could. But no, I mean, it's more just like, are his legs working again? And I would say his legs are at about 80% right now.
That's so good. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Mine are like 95.
That's pretty good. That's better than mine.
Am I right? 88, 87. He's 87, right? Exactly, right?
Yes.
I wasn't doing Mel Brooks, but you got the idea.
Yeah, you were doing, old Jew.
Did you ever read that book? It was the sequel to Old Yeller. Old Yeller. That can't be the name of something, is it?
It is the name of Old Yeller, yes.
I read when I was a kid, Black Beauty.
But if you, it would be a funny name for your next special too. Andy Kindler, Old Yeller.
Hey, cut it out over there.
Tweet Bahara says, dang, it's cold and snowy in Austin, California, dreaming. Andy, I hope you've got room in your condo for me and the wife, 3 cats, and a 110-pound dog. See you soon.
I got a little like my stomach hopped a little bit at the thought of having to entertain.
You know what's so funny is that I imagined you getting a little anxious when I was reading this.
I did. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Tweet Bahara also says, Perush is coming too. Is that okay? I think everyone needs to just huddle around Perush.
Yeah, exactly.
You know why?
No, I think...
You know why?
I would... Why?
Think about it.
Huddle around Perush. Because they don't want... They want to get a little bit of that... Perush is on... Everybody gather over by Perush. Why? Because he's on fire.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, it took a while.
It took a while. That's why I overdid it when I got there.
Yeah.
You read me you'd read me too well.
The Kindler's transparent.
Well, somebody's got up.
Tweet Bahara has dropped the 3 from his, at least the bold part of his name. He still has it as a scarlet number on his at.
Did you ever know what the details of why they kicked him off?
I think he kept threatening the president's life or something. I don't know.
No, come on, Tweet. Don't you do the Andy Kindler thing where you hide it? You hide your horrible feelings, your most, not horrible feelings, but your most, you gotta hide your violence, is what I say.
Bury the cable.
Yeah.
Dan Marsh.
I know there's certain things that they just are gonna, get them upset.
Yeah, I think he was telling people to go fuck themselves is really what I think was happening. Dan Marsh says 3 songs you want played at your funeral and 1 song you want played at the other guy's funeral. I want at Andy's funeral, I would like them to play the Bob Dylan version of the Sky Rizzy theme. I see nothing in a different way. It's my moment, so I just gotta say.
Oh.
Nothing is everything.
Whoa.
And I don't want 3 songs played at my funeral. That seems like overkill to me.
Yeah. It's also
playing songs at a funeral is already an uncomfortable kind of like what it doesn't give the audience enough direction.
I think you're right. I would go with you can't always get what you want, and then have someone put in the brochure. This was played in the Big Chill.
Gotcha. And at Trump rallies.
No, okay, we won't go with that one. At your funeral, I'd like to play. I don't know why, but the Macarena. I just think of you.
I see it.
I'm really bad with. That's why I know I'd never do good on a game show.
You're not really a music supervisor type.
No, it's not me.
Try If I Were a Rich Man again.
If I had some money, oy vey, would I do some things with the money? Ha! I'd be a stereotypical Jew, rubbing my hands like a weezer. What do they do? Like a. What is it when greedy people rub their hands? Hey, give me my Jew money.
Yeah. I think it's called Jewing.
Hey, look at me, I'm all Jew-like.
Jewing your hands, I think it's called.
And I have to ask you a question. Why the horns? On top of everything else, do you need the horns?
I think this is what I've actually read at one point, whether it's true or not, whole different ballgame. But that it's based on Michelangelo's statue of Moses, which had horns. And that was based on a mistranslation of the light beams of energy coming from his head.
Oh, okay. Because then we have to sit around thinking about whether Michelangelo was an anti-Semite.
Yeah. I mean, you can think, whatever. He worked for the Pope. It didn't matter. He might as well have been. But that's the root of the horns thing that I once heard.
Yeah.
That could be total bullshit. So.
Well, the other possibility is that Jews have horns.
That were animals, yeah.
No, we're unclean animals. We have cloven hooves.
Yeah.
Why are cloven hooves so what does that even mean? And why is it so unappetizing?
It's a trait of the non-cud chewing animals that you have to stay away from.
Boy, it's like how it's made with you.
Yeah.
I feel like
Bill Steitler says, let's say civilization has entirely collapsed, as it has in Texas. What's your survival gig? Wandering storyteller, fire tender, pig herder?
You mean what, in Texas?
Just in general. Imagine the end of civilization, and you still have to find a role because your Social Security and Medicare have fallen through.
I would volunteer to steal from rich people's swimming pools, water, something like that. Get into the underground.
Yeah.
Some black market stuff.
Yeah. Pool water.
That's what they seem to be doing. They're using pool water to flush toilets.
Ah.
What a horrible state. What a horrible governor over there.
Don't do that. Don't do the horrible state gag again.
No. I don't mean that. I mean, I love Texas. I love Austin. But I mean, the people who are evil there, they are a special kind of evil. I just don't even understand it.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why is because of the wind turbines. All right. You're right. You're right. Stop it.
Yeah. I don't need to hear your willful mismanagement rant.
And don't get me wrong. I have had more fun in Texas. I love Dallas. I even love Houston.
I don't love Dallas. Dallas is not that cool.
It's not so great. But I've had fun there when I played the improv and we used to go out.
Yeah.
So, and Austin
I met Rip Torn there. I met Meatloaf there.
Oh my God. How did it happen?
We were at a film festival with Meatloaf and Rip Torn.
And what was Rip Torn like?
Super drunk. So drunk.
Oh, man. I love when he broke into the bank by mistake.
Yeah. He was a good drunk. I mean, he was perfectly pleasant, but he was super drunk at a party. It was at a cocktail party, so it wasn't wholly inappropriate.
It's unbelievable that he lived so long, because he did a lot of abuse to his body.
Yeah. Meatloaf was the villain for me. He was
Okay, what happened?
He was a big dick. He was like, we were doing, this was Cinematic Titanic, and we were doing this film festival, and we were riffing on a movie in one theater, and there was a Meatloaf documentary that he was appearing at in another theater. And there was no green room. There was the only place there could be was the manager's office. So we were sitting in the manager's office before the show, and they're like, you have to get out. Meatloaf wants to use the room. And they cut us loose. They cut us loose for fucking Meatloaf.
That's bullshit. Well, he's like a right-wing guy, too. I never knew that. He's an idiot.
Yeah, it wasn't that pleasant.
I'm glad that he's not pleasant now. I never liked Meatloaf that much. Did you like? Well, I like Dashboard Lights, I guess.
I like it. I like Paradise by the Dashboard Lights because it fits under my banner of earnest, over dramatic singers. Let me sleep on it, baby, baby. Let me sleep on it.
Yeah, got it. I never saw Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Really?
No,
wow.
I never have. Is it great?
No, it's not great, but it's fun to have gone.
Yeah, I think it's too late now.
It's a little late. I think. But I went many times over my young teen years.
Oh, that's an age thing. It came. I remember I was like probably 30, 32 when people were doing it.
Yeah, makes sense.
But the movie was directed by who?
I can't remember.
It's not John Waters, right?
No.
And so it's objectively like you wouldn't like it if you saw it, or it's just objectively okay.
That's not true. I think it's. I mean, it is intentionally campy and stilted,
right?
But it's not badly done.
It's not like The Room where that guy was the worst.
No, it's competently made. And, it was a stage show before it was a movie.
Oh.
So.
Is that where it started with people getting into it?
Well, no, it started as a stage show, and then people started coming to the movie and doing their shit alongside with it.
Yeah.
But it's it's sort of a parody of an old, Dracula-like horror movie.
Oh, okay. And when you throw things at the screen, are they throwing things in the movie?
There's just lots of little cues. You aren't really throwing things at the screen because that gets you kicked out. But there'd be like a toast to my creation, and people would throw toast. Or people would throw rice as they're coming out of a wedding scene.
That's nice.
That kind of stuff.
I think that it's like being in a clubhouse.
I never went and actually brought props with me.
I am not surprised.
But what I liked far better was the other midnight. This was the Uptown Theater in Minneapolis. It was Rocky Horror was Fridays and Stop Making Sense was Saturdays.
Well, it's a whole different scene.
And Stop Making Sense was something that I loved and actually had an impact on me.
Yeah, me too. I saw it in the movie theater,
and it turns out my wife was in the audience in the movie. So.
What are you talking about? In the audience in Minneapolis?
No, she was in the audience of the movie.
Why can't I figure this out?
She was at the Talking Head show that was filmed.
Oh! You didn't see her, though, right?
No.
That would be good.
But I've never zaprudered it before looking for her.
What if she pre-waved at you? Oh, that'd be too odd.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I want to say 84.
And where was the show?
The Pantages.
I
believe.
Wow. Which was always, I think, kind of a weird room, but it was okay. It was probably good for that.
Yeah, it worked.
I think I saw them there too at the Palladium, but it wasn't a film.
The Pantages is what I said.
That's what I said. So you know what? I was talking about the Palladium the whole time. Huh. Seriously. I don't know where is the Pantages?
It's on Hollywood Boulevard.
All right. Move it on. Maybe people won't think I'm a jerk. Too late. Too late. Too bad back now.
Terry Caulfield says, are there any foods you like better when they are burnt? Some toast? A charred hot dog? A third blackened thing?
I like a lot of things. I'd say a hot dog is a good example of it. I like marshmallows when they're burnt.
Yes. I would say that's
now, as a chef.
That's a prime example.
Is there, as a chef, would you be able to answer this? I mean, it looks good.
I like the confectioner's sugar bruleed on top of my.
Oh, I love it.
I absolutely on my barbecue. If I'm making a brisket, for example, of course I want a crust on it.
Yes.
French fries are probably my number one example of what I like best. What some people would consider burnt.
Because you actually
not
order
blackened,
it that way.
but crispy and dark.
Yeah. Blackened is a whole different thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like a Cajun thing.
Well, I mean, you can blacken things with fire, or you can blacken them with pepper.
Is there a position for the world's stupidest questioner?
That's a dumb question in and of itself.
Yeah, but do you think this? But you think it's like the dumbest question I've ever had?
I don't know. I wouldn't put it on your dumb resume.
Why do you think I ask so many questions all the time? And don't. Why do I needy, Daddy?
Daddy, what's Vietnam? We used to do Daddy, what's Vietnam on Mystery Science Theater a lot as a reference. This is my recollection.
That's a funny joke.
Dr. McDonald says from Australia. All right. Should I do Australian for them? From Australia. So chaos abounds in the U.S. Do you think Americans would act at all differently if they knew the whole planet was watching them like it is some kind of crazy Floribama episode? The Only in America news segment grows longer.
That is a very astute and a true. It just must be so old for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, but it was the Trump era, especially was. One was acutely aware of what a spectacle we were making of ourselves.
Yeah, it's just.
And then the coronavirus really put the big deadly cherry on top of that shit.
Is it scary to think that he might have gotten would he have gotten reelected if that never had happened?
It's super possible, isn't it?
It really frightens me.
Yeah, no, the fact that he got more votes the second time is about the most frightening statistic America has generated in a long time.
It's odd though, as scary as he is, and he is extremely scary, I do think it's going to break up. I think those 70% or whatever were stupid. I mean, it was a horrible move, but I think it's not going to last forever.
I agree. And I do think that the fact that he can't be on Twitter anymore has helped that a great deal.
And that he might be in jail. I really think there's a chance. But I've been hoping that for years.
Yeah. There's some people who fucking want it. You know that much.
Oh I know. And Cuomo's in trouble too.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah. So's our governor.
What did he do? He do anything since the dining out with the... Are they doing a recall?
They're trying, yeah. They're pretty close to the amount needed.
This state makes me nuts. I don't like recalls.
Nah. No, I can imagine you wouldn't like anything about recall.
At least I got the joke.
That was good. I was wondering if it landed or not. Stephen Elton Yates says quarks have not been directly observed, but theoretical predictions based on their existence have been confirmed experimentally. The beach, amusement park, the mountains, a lake. The beach, amusement park, the mountains, a lake.
May a weird holy man play patty cake with your sister.
What's your choice for the perfect summer day? The beach, amusement park, the mountains, a lake. Wow.
I forgot what the question was because of your impression.
Perfect summer day.
Oh.
I like a sailboat on a lake. I like that a lot.
I like a nice little shady spot close to the house.
I like a more air-conditioned spot in the house.
Yeah. Anything that's beautiful. I mean, I'll go anywhere when it's... I'm not going anywhere. So whatever's on TV, whatever they have.
Yeah. I don't know. I never have that this is a perfect day feeling anyway.
I've had that at the beach, but I've also been on LSD.
Yeah. I like the ocean, but I like the rock, sort of a rockier Northern California version of the ocean than the beach.
I'll tell you what I do like. When we stayed at the Surf and Sand twice on our honeymoon, and then a couple of years ago, and the sound of the ocean when you sleep is amazing. But
I find it relentless.
That's what I mean. It's too loud now. It's too loud. They said to me that people were calling from the front to the front desk.
Could you turn down the ocean, please? Please turn down the ocean.
Yeah. Well, in other words, you wouldn't put that even on your sound soother.
No. Nothing would drive me more nuts than a sound soother, by the way.
How come? I
don't know. I hear the words and I think about it and go, I don't want that. Because I don't like white noise. I hate white noise.
Right, but I happen to agree with you, but if it's the right one, it's good. But if it's the wrong one, you can't help listening to the same repetitive thing.
Yeah, I don't like it. I would put on something else to cover up the sound of that. I would put on talk radio or something. I put on NPR to cover the sound of the sound soother.
Yeah, don't buy one.
You give This American Life will put me down so much faster than waves. Anyway,
does that remain effective? Those type of things?
Yeah. People talk. My ADD works for me.
Oh.
Because it'll be someone talking, and then because I can't tune in to people talking for very long, I'll tune out and fall asleep.
That's good.
But I can't. It doesn't work with music because my mind actually engages.
Yeah, that does make sense.
But if I'm listening to someone talking, eventually my attention span will derail me and put me to sleep.
What if it's Harvey Fierstein? Is that his name?
Steen, I think he goes.
Steen, yeah.
Yeah. It's the Russian.
Okay. Sit in a comfortable position.
Harvey Fierstein does the meditation tapes.
All right. I don't do that. No, I listen to
an actual thing.
Yeah. We do a lot of lectures now.
From Allison to you?
Yes, exactly. Go to bed, she'll say.
You mean like Alan Watts type stuff?
Like history lectures and stuff.
Well, then how are you going to learn anything if you're out in 2 minutes?
It's the beauty part. You don't have to.
How about Allison? Is she learning?
No, she falls asleep the same way.
It's funny to me. What do you want to listen to tonight? The middle age? It doesn't matter, sweetie. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get tired of some of them, some eras.
We used to use this Fidel Castro documentary, and it worked the same way, and we would fall asleep around the same time.
Yeah.
We'd fall asleep every night when Fidel took his mother's farm away from her.
Yeah, it's great. It's like I haven't had this kind of sleep since college.
Were you a sleeper in college?
No, I wasn't there long enough.
I went there for the whole time because it was a fucking vacation, my friend.
Yeah. I had a stand-up career waiting for me, and it was way more fun than college.
And that would be totally wrong for me. The only place I could be creative was in college at that point. I was in a band. I would never have made it in a band in the real world at that point. I mean, now, sure.
Sure, now. Stephen out in the 8th also says, I just finished shoveling the driveway. What do you guys miss about winters back east? Anything?
Well, I love winters, so I miss everything about them because I never had a realistic view of them. It meant you didn't have to go to school. So I loved it, and I didn't do anything. I didn't have to do, even when I went up to school, which had even more snow, I didn't need a car then. So I'm very lucky. You, on the other hand, must hate it.
I was never someone, it wasn't the reason I moved. I didn't hate it that much. And it wouldn't be the thing that keeps me away. Mm-hmm. But no, I miss the fall a lot more than the winter.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's sad that we don't have that.
But I like, I don't know, skiing, but you can ski within an hour of here too.
Would you still go skiing?
I like skiing.
I asked you, would you still go skiing?
Yes, I would still go skiing.
But why were you so cagey about it?
I don't know, because I didn't know if you were
asking to go
I didn't
with
know
you.
if you were asking because of my back or if you were asking because of my age.
Oh, no,
or...
it wasn't because of your back. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't because. But anyway, is there any
I've been skiing in the last 10 years.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And how is your back?
Super fucked up.
Oh, God.
Not super fucked up, but still fucked up.
And you don't go, do you still go to Pilates?
No.
Oh, that stopped with the COVID, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how could you go to Pilates? Where have I been? I saw a animal hospital, and I was wondering if it was the one that you saw. It was the one you go to. It was on going towards Encino.
No.
And then, if we really weren't doing the podcast, I would follow up with, "Have you heard about that one, though? And are they good?"
Is that the one right by your pot shop?
Exactly.
That is a decent one, actually. We have brought them there, but I think we're switching away because we liked how well the people who helped us with Clyde this last time did.
Oh, I don't think you have to. That's like you have to go back to them. Well, are they only emergencies or are they full service?
Well, it was a full service vet that got us in and then found us a neurologist that day.
Wow. That's so great. Little doggy brains.
So they earned our love. Richard Cole says, in Canada, we call knitted wool caps toques. What do you call them in Minnesota and New York?
Wool cap in New York, isn't it?
We use stocking cap a lot.
Yeah.
Dunce hat with a dingle ball on the top, I think we called them. No, we didn't call them that.
We used to call the boots galoshes in the East Coast. I'm not making it up.
I believe
maybe we didn't.
Yeah. Galoshes are a specific thing, though.
Tell me what they are. Are they for like snowshoes?
Galoshes are boots that go over your shoes.
Well, so did totes. Then they are galoshes.
Yes, totes are a kind of galosh, if you will.
Oh my God! It's like whoa.
And they also call them
great.
rubbers if you're just using the ones that go over your shoes, but not not like boots.
I bet they don't call them that anymore. But why wouldn't they? You're young. I mean, when you're young.
Chaotic Neutral says, "Hey guys, you mentioned rim shots last show. I find them distracting and was curious why they existed at all. Just so drunks know when to laugh? I once saw a comic unironically use an onstage DJ the same way. Was it wrong of me to leave in the middle of his set?"
Well, that could be funny if he did it in a funny way. I think I have a theory. I mean, I think I know why they have the drum shots. Or, I always thought it's for two things. It's for when it's when you want to add to a joke, and then bang, ba-loom, and it's when you don't get a laugh.
Yeah.
So I guess I really don't know what it's for.
Well, now they exist as a meta thing. You know, they existed before because you were often on stage with a band, and the band was probably giving you shit when something didn't work or trying to help.
I always think of Lenny Bruce.
Yeah,
because he started like in jazz clubs and
strip clubs.
Joints.
Yeah. Richard Cole says, "I heard Joseph Mengele welcomed Rush Limbaugh at the gates of hell. Any idea how that might have sounded?" "Well, Mr. Limbaugh, we've been waiting a while now for you. Did you bring your silly little medal?" "I brought my Excellence in Broadcasting golden microphone."
God. There's nothing sad about him passing. That's all I'll say.
No, there's really not.
We all have to go.
Yeah. Why not him?
Yeah.
Why not the bad ones, too?
Exactly. And I'm never going to be someone who goes, look, even though he did die today, let's hold some silence for him anyway, because we're run out of things to do.
Yeah. My dedication to classiness just doesn't extend that far.
And I would count you as a classy fella.
Well, if that's my epitaph, then I've done okay.
Have you ever worked with Judd Epitaph?
I have. It was ugly at the end.
These things delight me.
Halpin Fraser says, hello, gentlemen. I was in a late night with David Letterman YouTube spiral recently, so I have 2 questions. Did Andy get to meet Larry Bud Melman on the Late Show days? Also,
No, I did not. I
okay.
wish I had.
Also, any Sandra Bernhard stories or thoughts from Josh and Andy? Do you have any Sandra Bernhard stories?
I've heard from friends of mine that I heard from a friend of mine that she'll do anything if she wants to go on early, and it doesn't seem like she's a particularly nice person. I do think she's funny.
Yeah.
I don't like her show though when she does her show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen her do anything live in a long time.
But she's a very funny person.
I met her once. I went to her house once with a friend of hers. And in that context, she was a delight.
That's good. Yeah, I don't see her as a monstrous person.
Yeah. She was, but this was, a friend stopping by at her house.
Yes.
So she was very pleasant, and she was happy that she lived next door to the guy who played Larry Tate on Bewitched.
Is he who came by?
No, he did not. Wookie Talkie says, who are your favorite dogs in movies, TV, and cartoons? Well, let's start with cartoons.
Go ahead. Get it out of your system,
I
you
just did.
half-working penis.
I just did.
You out-of-work penis.
I'm the
you
hero.
out-of-work dick.
I'm the hero of this story. TV, favorite dog. Fraser Eddie was a good dog.
Yeah, he was cute. I met him.
Yeah, you met Moose?
Yeah, I got to meet Moose. Moose is a very, very bright dog.
Yeah.
All of them pretty much have to be.
All right. Jordy says, hi, guys. Did you ever cross paths with Patrice O'Neill? I saw there's a new documentary about him.
Oh, I didn't know that came out. I had met him a couple times, but really know so little about him that I would be lying to try and find something, because I would see him at festivals and stuff.
Yeah, I literally did not know who he was when he died, so I only got to see him after he died, but he was very funny.
Yeah, he was a funny guy.
Qmock says, each art form has a golden age. Is right now the golden age for anything? Yeah, I think it's the golden age of television now.
Yeah, that's true. And also, in a way, comedy. But I don't know, golden age implies more than just it's a good time for.
Right. And podcasting is probably, the last 10 years have probably been the best time for podcasting ever.
Yeah. Exactly. So you don't want to say, I don't know what golden age referred originally to the movies. To the TV comedy of the 50s.
Well, there was the golden age of Hollywood. There was the golden age of comedy. There was the golden age of blah blah blah.
So what do they call it for movies?
The 40s and 50s at the studios, I think, was the golden age. Hollywood's golden age.
So you can almost go by just popularity.
Sure.
What am I asking? Just punch me in the face.
It's just the fucking 2 words.
It's so disgusting. Just move it
quotation
along.
marks. What do you want from me?
I don't know what to do. It's just ridiculous. I'm disappointed in both of us.
Why do you have to answer this question better?
I don't want to even. That's the bad part.
Qmock also says Netflix and other streamers seem to screw artists on residuals, but make shows that no one else would make. Overall, are they goodies or baddies?
I don't know what he means that they're screwing people. They're mostly union, like acting union.
Yeah, but the residuals aren't as good.
Oh, I don't like that. Well, because is that true?
Yeah, the fees, the performance fees are the same, but the residuals are much different.
Yeah. I don't think of them as evil. I think of them as I actually know a couple of people over there, and they seem nice. I don't think they're as
over where?
cutthroat.
At Netflix you're talking about?
Yeah. I know them from way back when they started. A couple of the guys there. Ted somebody. But they seem like nice guys. I also think I did admire what they were trying to do. They did something new.
Yeah. But I think they're talking about streaming in general.
Well, it's like it's too long a topic. We are ripped off. Musicians are ripped off. And how do you make up for it now? It's a tough thing. Do you have an answer?
Yeah, I mean, my answer is that anybody who's paying people to make their things is probably good. I mean, it's a much, there's way fucking more writing jobs right now than there ever were.
Yes. And how people were like, it's like people on, they were talking about reality shows, how people would be ripped off for years until some of them complained, but they weren't even treated on reality shows like, they weren't employees. They were treated as independent contractors. So they had absolutely nothing. Nobody saying you can't do this. I guess child labor laws and stuff. But other than that, they had no protections and made nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's plenty of unscrupulous goings on every level of show business. But, but having more buyers is a good thing as an artist.
Correct.
But
right again.
And I think it's also easy to, I think there was a time, unfortunately, I came in on the very tail end of, but, TV writing was almost ridiculously overpaid in ways too,
Yeah.
So you're comparing it to the old days. It doesn't compare favorably to the old days.
Right. Where people got ridiculous deals.
But it still compares favorably to real world prices.
And a lot of the money that went to big deals was where people in the executive ranks who really don't have a good eye or care, they just want to get the next thing in there. So they're throwing money around in the hopes that they'll nail something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the business model, because there used to be such a payoff for a hit show that went into syndication and made 100+ episodes, that you could afford to throw away money on ones that didn't succeed because the payoff on the ones that did hit was so good. But
right.
and that's what ended, is that the payoff for a huge hit show is nothing like it was at one point, and therefore you have to be a lot more sure about what you're investing in on the front end.
And that means
a lot fewer pilots, a lot fewer overall deals.
Yeah.
And Pierogi Carbonneau says, gentlemen, in this time of masks and with you both being experts on MASH to differing degrees, why were the doctor's masks tied high on the head and down on the neck and the nurse's mask tied with the strings crossing?
I never looked at it that closely.
I never thought about it, but I will tell you right now exactly why. Because I've been wearing masks the last year. It's because the doctors had dialogue. And if they would have tied it the other way, their nose or mouths would have come uncovered.
Ah, exactly.
And the nurses had very little dialogue.
Because it was a sexist show.
Exactly.
Well, Hot Lips had a lot of dialogue.
Here's something we haven't done in a while. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, 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 yo,
yo. What would Jay Leno sound like giving a pep talk to Andy's penis?
You do it, Dad. You do it, Josh, because even though I enjoy doing Leno, I don't enjoy talking about my penis anymore.
Hey there, Andy penis. So I just got a letter that says you're a little down in the dumps there. And thanks to the Cameo platform, I'm able to talk to you a little bit, little fella. I've been told that. I've been told you're not working very well.
In medical news, Andy Kindler's penis isn't working again.
So what else is in the news? Not your sexual escapades.
Oh, I don't miss him.
I don't miss him either.
Stop trying to get in on the show.
Lon Kruger Mellencamp says, hey, it's Television Savalas with a new name.
What's his new name?
Lon Kruger Mellencamp.
That's pretty good.
My question is, who was a comedian you did a show with that you knew immediately was destined for greatness? All right, we're on the tail end of this crazed plague. Hang in there. We're going to make it.
Oh, thank you. I don't think I've really had that, but I've had something like where I saw Tig, and it's not that I didn't think she was funny, but I didn't see how hilarious she was. But that could be a lot of comics.
Yeah. I don't know that there was some, I think Dana Gould was someone who always was like, he's got a different gear than most of us. Not that he became a great star, but he did become pretty great.
Yeah. It's a tough one, that one.
And then there was people like you thought would, there was got people like Michael Floorwax, who were like, these huge stars of the comedy circuit. And he ended up being a DJ in Denver for years,
Right. Was he funny? I never.
Yeah, he was super funny. I mean, he was stupid, but it was super funny.
It's so weird. I never saw him.
Yeah, there's those people. I mean, I think, and like Drew Carey was another one of those guys who was out there, a star of the funny bone circuit, But he was one of those guys that everyone at every club loved.
Right. And much better probably then than he is as an actor, which he's so boring.
Yeah.
He literally has a monotone that he can't get away from.
Okay, Dan Wade says, hey guys, I was thinking of ways you could increase your audience size. Hear me out. How about you make Thought Spiral a TV show and put it on the 8 p.m. Thursday slot on NBC? Thanks, and I'll take my question off the air. Thank you.
It's like he's a genius.
It is.
Kind.
It's like,
wow, what an angle.
It's from the advice from your parents' friends.
I'll certainly look into it, Dan.
And Chaotic Neutral One chimed in to let Yoshi know that Jay Leno hasn't touched his Tonight Show penis.
How is he going in on something that's happening now?
Because they happen online.
Oh, okay.
And, never mind. Our boy Alex.
Briz?
Alex Brizzell, producer of Thought Spiral, wrote us one, and I'm trying to find it because Alex, our producer, didn't hashtag his thing. Here it is. We'll close with Alex Brizzell's question. Hey guys, as your quote unquote producer, I would like to propose a new source for revenue. What if we were to create an OnlyFans account for Droopy? I think it'd do gang parenthetically bang busters. So gang bang busters. Apologies if I went too blue, but just a thought.
You didn't go too blue, Alex, but you really made me sad. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get away from Droopy. But, you know what?
You know what I love is that
crazy.
What I love is that Alex actually like texted me to tell me he was gonna do a question this week, and it was this.
You know what? Let's think about it. It may be a good career move for me to have pictures of my soft penis.
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
All right.
And I'll get back to you. Would you be one of the first people who orders it, Josh?
I would be the purveyor of the account since you can't do the voice.
Oh, that was a little extra sad there.
It's a little extra sad. If you'd like to support Plot Spiral, you can
This I like.
go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral and buy us a coffee. It would really perk things up. Or if you'd like to hear my friend Andy Kindler's album, it's called Hence the Humor. It's not as sad as it sounds. And Josh has directed a very good documentary.
He sounds like so strong. You sound strong, Droopy.
A very, very good documentary that's been underappreciated like so much other of his work.
I love this.
Michael DeMar, Who Do You Want Me to Be? Available on all your streaming platforms. Shell out a few bucks and help out Joshua Rooney.
Wow.
And now...
You know what's going to happen now, right, Droopy?
I think we all know what's about to happen.
I'm going to hang up on you this time, right?
Farewell.
I can't do it.
Why can't you do it?